Hi, ShaKa. It's a pleasure to communicate with you. I would
And
like,
to you as well.
thank you. I would like to begin by asking you um, about the evolution of consciousness for this planet, for planet Earth. Brandon and I were talking about the shift from third density into fourth density level of consciousness. And I'd love to know from you how we are doing in that shift, in that evolution. Where are we right
Well,
now?
all right. Thank you for the inquiry. The idea is that you are able to have such interactions such as this because you are headed in a direction of Earth that represents the idea of more open contact, thus implying the idea of a more integrated, holistic, unified society. So, in general, this is where you are headed. However, you are still in a bit of a limbo state between different parallel realities that you have the option to crystallize and experience. And this is what has been referred to as the eye of the needle on your planet, because you are deciding which tunnel you would like to focus in. And the idea is there are several different tunnels leading to several different destinations. And as you explore each tunnel further and further, you will have more of a tunnel vision within that particular tunnel, making it that much more difficult to transfer over or shift over to other tunnels. So again, this is nothing to worry about. It's simply a recognition of a natural, you could say, splitting of your collective into a more positive, negative, and infinite different paths in between. These are simply all different pathways that you can take. So it is of the utmost importance at this timing that you are conscious and intentional with what type of tunnel you wish to experience.
Excellent. So the tunnel analogy would be an analogy for timelines.
In a sense, yes.
Are we in a similar timeline of the age of Atlantis?
Archetypally, yes. The idea, however, is you are experimenting, and archetypally, the Americas specifically are the archetypal expression of Atlantis as they are in your collective global society, what are considered to be the free or most free nations. Whether that is your experience of them or not isn't relevant to the idea that that is what they are attempting to express. So you have a choice now to experience a repeating of the idea of Atlantis, or to transform and transcend what has been called the fall of Atlantis by balancing yourselves out individually and creating a more unified, integrated society. So, yes, you are playing out old themes that date back to Atlantis, but actually date back much further to societies that many of you are not even aware of.
And I want to ask a question regarding power and the
All right.
perhaps misuse or abuse of power. Was that the reason that Atlantis was vanished?
It would be a bit more accurate to say a misunderstanding of power, because from the misunderstanding, the idea of a misuse of power is possible, because power in its fundamental state cannot be misused. Power in its fundamental state is the recognition that you are an aspect of all that is. And at your core, you are infinite. And at your core, you are absolutely supported by creation. And so, for an individual or a society to understand that they are supported being themselves, meaning they don't need to hurt or harm themselves or any other individuals or nature in order to be supported and have what they need, they simply can't misuse that understanding, because that understanding is the natural state. And the natural state is perfectly harmonic with nature, with each other. It is conducive, it is connective, it is integrative by its nature. So true power cannot be misused.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of powerlessness, in a sense, convincing you that you need to gain power, is how a false sense of power can be misused. And this is what we sense you are referring to.
Yes.
So it's more of the idea of powerlessness is being expressed versus a misuse of power.
Right. And this true nature of the inner power that resides within each and every one of us.
Yes.
How can we reclaim that inner power in what we perceive as our current times?
By not defining it as something that needs to be reclaimed. By understanding that it is what you are at your core. The only thing that can create the idea of being disconnected or disassociated from it are your beliefs about it. But fundamentally, even giving up your power is a powerful thing to do because it is your creation. You are using the same power that you may use to create a sense of empowerment to create a sense of disempowerment. So you can never lose your power. You can only become aware of how you are using your power to create. And many of you are using your power to create to experience disempowerment. So until you realize that that's not necessary, until you realize that that is based in fear-based negative beliefs and let them go, you will continue to do so.
Right. I personally believe that at the moment, there is a portion of humanity that is activating that inner power, that true nature, yes, and awakening to the reality that there's more than one reality. Yes. But I'd like to know your perspective on what is the percentage of humanity that is awakening, and how long in our linear time can we expect the majority of people to be in that awakened state?